friends, welcome back to another video. I am going to do a very snappy get ready with me / Sephora haul today. First of all, I'm going to use this AVENE Tolerance Extreme Cream. This was sent to me not super long ago. I think it's relatively new. And it is quite heavy for a cream that I would wear like under makeup usually. But I wore this yesterday under the exact makeup I'm going to show you, and I really liked the way everything blended out and the way it lasted on my skin. It was really, really nice. I just didn't have a tremendous amount of time yesterday, and I whacked some stuff on my face, and I thought I'm going to do this in a video because it was super, super quick, and it'll be a good way of showing some of the products that I bought as well. I'm going to use the Max Factor Radiant Lift Long Lasting Concealer. The shade I have, we'll never know. What shade? Oh, light. Light. Also, I've seen some stuff recently about like influencers be like, and this thing where we put our hands like this. It's so that the camera focuses. It doesn't make any sense to do it if you're filming on an iPhone, because it doesn't work like that. But on like an autofocus camera, that is the reason. It's to get your face out of the way. I'm sure most of you know that. There's not a lot left in this. This is nearly going in my empties. Ooh. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you realise that's the reason. But I've seen it tons, and I thought that does look ridiculous if you don't actually know why. And that is why. That is the reason. The camera automatically wants to zoom into your face. So you have to get your face out of the picture so it will focus on something else. Right, so number one thing that I got from Sephora. This is the Pro Foundation Brush, number 47. I did show this in a vlog. It is fan-flipping-tastic. I've been using it for loads of things. I'm not even cleaning it in between. I'm just kind of going in, throwing it together. Apparently this is called a kitten paw, so someone told me. I had no idea. And it is the most amazing foundation brush I've ever used. And I'm going to throw it out there because I have talked and talked about my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe double-ended one. The buffing one that's got concealer on the other side. This is better. It's better. It's still not cheap, but it is a little bit cheaper than that one. And I can use it for everything. I mean, I've never known like a flat brush. It's like it's 2-in-1 because you could use it that way if you wanted to. But it buffs everything. It gets into little areas like that. I can use it for my contour. I can use it for my blush. It's still kind of dense like that Heavenly Luxe one from IT. But there's something magical about the shape of brush. Absolutely love it. And I think if I had a second one, I'd probably save it for powder because I think it would be so good, you know, just to get in those little areas there. The second thing I got from Sephora was this e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I want to try this for ages. I will say I thought it was going to be larger. I thought it was going to be in the same container as the primer. I got the one called Feeling Shady, which is this kind of taupey colour. Depending on who swatches it, it kind of looked really grey, and I've just been really hemming and hawing about whether or not I wanted to get this one or a warmer one. But if you see it on my skin, I don't know if this lighting's going to do anything for it at all, because it is quite early in the day and it's grey, you know, still February. But it's got just enough warmth that it doesn't look grey for me. I'm fairly fair. I'm shade Calico in number 7, if that helps anyone at all. But it has got just enough warmth for it to not give me that kind of like corpse bride look. But it's not bronzery, really. It's still, well, I don't know. I think it kind of would work as like a bronzer if you've got very, very fair skin. Because it does have some warmth to it, but it's not, it's the perfect contour shade for my skin tone. Truly, truly. I'm so happy that I bought this. And there were so many more expensive ones that I was looking at. I think this is like around £7, I want to say. There were loads of kind of pricier ones that I was prepared to buy because I thought I really loved my Fenty cream bronzer last year. And it felt like it was kind of worth the splurge because I used it so much. But it is kind of orangey, especially at this time of year. but this is absolutely amazing. I love the texture of it. Everything about it is amazing. And the brush to apply it with. This is my most successful beauty haul of any kind in quite a long time. Next, I'm using the Elizabeth Arden Cool Glow Cheek Tint. The cheek tint, I think Cool Glow Cheek Tint, Pink Perfection is the shade. I don't even know if you can still get this anymore. I've had this forever, but it's a weird one because if you can see, it's got kind of like a mesh. So the product is in the jar underneath, and then it's got a mesh, and that's how you don't pick up too much product, I think. It's a strange one, but I've been wearing this a lot recently, and it is a gorgeous flush. It goes on and you're like, eeh, but it blends out really natural. It kind of is, I talked about the Daniel Sandler watercolour blush last week, and it's kind of an easier to use version of that. That blends out really nicely as well, but I don't love the fact that it is in a liquid. Like, I think maybe if I could replenish this with that would be perfect. But there is something different about this because it is more of a gel than it is a liquid, which the other one is like a full-on liquid. But this just blends out so beautifully. You can tell on camera right now. And it looks so natural, especially when you are just looking for something quick and little bit of makeup. Love it. I really enjoy that, and I don't know why I wasn't using it for so long. Again, real benefit to using what I have. I know I'm hauling some things, but they were things that I felt like I was missing in my collection. I'm really happy to be kind of going through and shopping my stash and finding things that I used to really enjoy. Right, this ColourPop eyeshadow is really broken now. The shade is Roulette. I don't even know if you can get this anymore, but it's just a solid matte black eyeshadow, and I'm going to just smudge out my outer corner a little bit to give it a little bit of lift and definition. Not a lot of anything, just in lieu of eyeliner. I need something. It makes a big difference, I think. Something to just make my eyes look a little bit more awake. If I have more time, I'll try to kind of do like a straight wing. But if I'm being quick, I just kind of fill in that corner of my lash line to kind of oomph it up a little bit. I'm still using the Lash IDOLE mascara from Lancome. I have had so many messages on Instagram. So many people have sent me a picture of the Maybelline primer, the Skyscraper primer. Is it called Skyscraper? The new Maybelline Lash Primer. Saying, have you seen this? Are you going to review it? Yes. I've got the Lash Sensational primer that still has some left, and I've been saving it specifically to do a comparison. I just haven't actually found stock yet. I don't want to buy it just randomly and have to pay for shipping. So I either want to buy it in store, or I want to get it on a Boots 3 for 2 because there are a couple of other things that I want to get from Maybelline. They've got a new foundation I'd like to try. So I'm not just throwing it out there and buying it, and I'm just not paying like £12 for it when I can get it for £7, you know? 7 plus another thing plus free something, you know? I just want to get the best deal. So I haven't found it in stock in store yet, and Boots have not had stock. It's crazy. So fingers crossed, but that is on my list to try, and I will do a dedicated video just comparing those two things. In fact, I might compare those two things and then use the new primer with a few different mascaras just to see, because that's interesting. I will say, really enjoying this Lancome, and I think it does the job of the two things. When I used to wear my Lash Sensational primer and the Lash Sensational on top, I think this does the thing that those two things did together, and really it's not that much different in price when you consider that I was using 2 mascaras per time. Kind of funny when we put it in that perspective, because we're prepared to pay in one aspect, but then you're like, oh no, that's too expensive. But I'm prepared to use multiple products to get the same look as one more expensive one. It's that like penny pinching is still there. Right, I've also bought the Sephora, what is it called? Retractable brow pencil. This is waterproof. And the shade that I've got is Nutmeg Brown, which I think is the lightest shade that they did. I'm really enjoying this. I am yet to find one of these little micro pencils, to be fair, that I don't like. I've tried quite a few for a time when I had very, very, very blonde hair. I really liked MAC Fling because you couldn't find an ashy pencil from anywhere. It was like blonde and that was warm, or it was brown and it was too dark, and then you could get kind of like greys from some places. But you really kind of had to go for the higher end, or at least the mid-range makeup stuff, to be able to find anything that went. Now, I mean, just in the last 10 years, it's kind of crazy to think of it, but just in the last 10 years, makeup, like what is available and the variations of stuff that you can get on the high street, it's crazy how different it is. This is why higher end makeup used to be the thing that it was. Now it feels like it has to be really special to justify spending the extra money, because everything can be duped. Everything is available, or most things. I might do a video of things that I truly feel like this is worth the money. This, by the way, is the Morphe, you can't get this anymore, Morphe Filter Effect Finishing Powder. I'm just using this to kind of set this area. I don't think I'm going to do very much else, to be fair. I was talking about Charlotte Tilbury recently, recently on Instagram. I might still do a little YouTube video because I borrowed a couple of products from my friend. I said I was going to do an Is It Worth It style video, but it would involve me buying expensive makeup purely for the purposes of testing something for a video, which I'm really trying not to do. So I said on Instagram, was anybody interested? And my friend Emma messaged me and said, if you want, I'll bring some stuff over for you. I'm actually going to just put on a little bit of this PIXI Eye Lift Max. I know that I'm doing this in a weird order, but I'm just looking now and feeling like I've got nothing on my lids and it looks weird. I'm just going to kind of pat it on because I have got that shadow on already, just to give it something. Not even going anywhere. At most, I'll be on a Zoom call today. That's it, because the kids are off, so I'm literally not even planning on leaving the house. So yeah, she lent me a few things, and before I give them back, I may do a YouTube video. Let me know if you would be interested. But I was talking about it on Instagram, and it was quite funny, the responses that I got. I did get a couple more Sephora lip creams. These are really difficult with swatches online as well. I'm steadily just going to collect all of them, and then I'm going to do a full swatch video. This one is too dark for me, really. It is, I don't know what the shade is. They make this so difficult. It's shade 72. I forget what the name is. Does it say on the side? No, it doesn't. But it really is. It's too brown for me. But I'll mix things together and I'll make it work. It just looked kind of a more pale nude on other people. This one I really like. This is shade 70. I think this is called First Date. I could be wrong. This is the one that I'm going to put on now. I'm just going to use it lightly, it can be a little bit dark, but it's a gorgeous, like, peachy pink. They have that sweet vanilla scent that I describe as the outside of Tic Tacs. It smells so good. And they last amazingly well. Like, it's incredible. Crazy, crazy. That's going to be it. I'm not going to do anything else, I don't think. No. So as I was saying about the Charlotte Tilbury thing, oh, I might do a little bit of highlight, just a touch. It's supposed to be like really simple. We're adding. I've got a moment longer while I talk to you about this. Yeah, I was talking about the Charlotte Tilbury thing, and it seems like, I don't know if people misunderstood what I was saying, because I was kind of saying, you know, is it worth it? And for me, no. Some of the products are really nice, and I liked the overall look. But my point was, no, it's not worth it in so much as you don't need this. You can get it elsewhere. You can find something that will work the same as this from a much cheaper brand. One of the people, I think, was kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of reading into it, but I think she was kind of upset because she thought maybe I was saying people who purchased that or people who bought that were stupid. That's not at all what I'm saying. When I'm reviewing something and I want to tell you if it's worth your money, that's literally it. Is it worth your money? Do you need to spend more to get this result? No. Oftentimes, no. There are some things that I do think are better. She gave the example of my, what do I love? The Dior Lip Maximizer. Love that so much. I really do like it. I've bought loads of different lip glosses trying to find a dupe. I've not found anything quite exactly the same, but I will tell you, the Dior Lip Maximizer is not worth the money. It's really expensive compared to a lot of other glosses that are really, really similar. No, they're not quite as nice, but it's not worth the difference to buy the Dior one if all you want is kind of like a milky, thin gloss. It's just not worth it. To me, I will still buy it because I really enjoy using it. That's a completely different kettle of fish. If you really enjoy something and you get something from it, then it's worth it to you. But whether it's worth the money is a completely, like, I'm more saying, like, do you need to spend the extra money to get this? Not, is it worth it to you? Because that's a personal thing. That's completely relative. So with the Charlotte Tilbury stuff, I think there are some things that she does really, really well. The lip liners are a completely different formula than other lip liners. I've never found Pillow Talk dupe. There are some things that I cannot dupe from higher end brands. So it might be interesting to do a video on that because lots of people do dupe videos and we all know there are certain things that can be duped, but I don't know if I've ever seen a video that's like, these things can't be duped, because I definitely have some products that I feel that way about, which is very anti-budget beauty, I realise, but hey-ho. So anyway, that is everything that I got from Sephora, most of which I've put on my face for your viewing pleasure. Some of the highlights have to be, I mean, the two major highlights have to be the brush. This would be up there in worth the money, because expensive for me for a makeup brush. I don't spend a lot of money on makeup brushes. I have thousands of them. I've never used a brush that is like this before. It's incredible. Really versatile, absolutely amazing, to the point where I may buy a second one. And the e.l.f. Putty bronzer is fantastic. The texture of this, it blends so well. The Feeling Shady colour, if you are fair like me, I think you will love. Everything about it, absolutely amazing. And the Sephora lip creams I've talked about before, they just last incredibly well. So yeah, hopefully that was an interesting, quick little video for you. Helpful if you were thinking of buying some new things recently. If you've got anything that you've picked up recently that you've been like, wow, this is amazing, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!